Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very loudly.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of Glishishore Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to our morning Bhagavatam class. This morning, we will be hearing from Sri Prabhupada instead. Mother Gita will not be able to give class this morning. So we will be hearing from Sri Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 31. And we request devotees to please increase your volume, and please do try to listen to one takeaway so that we can share it at the end of the class and we all can benefit from each other's sharing with your takeaway. Without further delay, we will start the recording. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Toya Vilasiteshu Eshu Guneshu Gunavan Iva Anta Pravishta Abhati Vijnanena Vijrimpita Toya Vilasiteshveshu
Vilasiteshu Yeshu
Guneshu Gunavaniva Antapravishta Abhati Jnanena Vijrimbita Toya Vilasiteshveshu
Yeshu
Guneshu Gunavaniva Antapravishta Abhati Vijnanena Vijrimbita Toya Vilasiteshveshu Yeshu Guneshu Gunavaniva Antapravishta Abhati Vijnanena Vijrimbita Toya by them Vilasiteshu,
Vilasiteshu,
although in the function,
although in the function,
Eshu,
Eshu,
these,
these,
Guneshu,
Guneshu,
the modes of material nature,
the modes of material nature,
Gunavan,
Gunavan,
affected by the modes,
affected by the modes,
Eva,
Eva,
as if, Antak,
Anta,
within, Pravishta,
Pravishta,
entered into, Abhati,
Abhati,
appears to be, Vijnanena,
Vijnanena,
by transcendental consciousness,
by transcendental consciousness,
Vijrimpita,
Vijnanena,
fully enlightened.
fully enlightened.
Translation. After creating the material substance, the Lord expands himself and enters into it. And although he is within the material modes of nature and appears to be one of the created beings, he is always fully enlightened and in his transcendental position.
Taya vilasiteshu eshu guneshu gunavaniva anta pravishtaya bhati vijnanena vijimita. Now, this material creation is possible when the Supreme Spirit enters into it. This is a problem to the modern scientist. How creation was possible? They cannot understand that without spiritual touch there cannot be any creation. That is their poor fund of knowledge. The Darwin's theory, development, process of evolution, they're childish. They are concentrating on the matter. Matter is evolving. Matter does not evolve. Matter is dead. It is due to the presence of the spirit soul, it evolves. That they don't understand. Although actually you are seeing, just like a child born, if the child is born dead, it is simply dead matter. It does not grow. It is our practical experience. But if the child is living, or the spirit soul is within that body, then it develops. Similarly, the whole cosmic manifestation, this big universe, unless there is in the center the Supreme Spirit, how it develops? It cannot develop. Either you take this body or take this universal body, without the spirit being enter within it, there cannot be development. The modern scientists, they have no knowledge, they cannot understand this. They are so poor fund of knowledge. Practically, we are seeing every day, this body has developed, your body, my body. How it has developed? Because I, the spirit soul, you, the spirit soul, enter into the matter. Therefore it has developed. Karmana daiva netrena jantar deho upapattaye. So, deho upapatti, development of this body, is possible when the spirit soul enters. The man, the male and female, they have sex life, and the two secretion, they mix up, becomes emulsified, and the spirit soul takes shelter within that matter. And then the matter develops gradually. That is the development within the embryo. And when it is fully developed with hands and legs, consciousness at 7 months, then child wants to come out. Then, by the natural process, on the 10th month, the child comes out. But medical science or physiologists, biologists, they do not know this. They do not know this. They cannot explain how the body is developing, how the body is being formed. They do not know. But this is the fact. Taya vilasiteshu guneshu gunavaniva. Now, the living entity wanted to enjoy this material world. We get different types of bodies on account of our desire to have such body. We want to enjoy the material, the matter in a certain way, and Krishna gives us the opportunity to enjoy as we like. Prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvas. Everything is under control of Krishna. Although the body is obtained by material arrangement, still behind the matter there is Krishna. Krishna is, as the living entity enters this material world, Krishna is also there along with him. Sometimes the Mayavadi philosophers, they mistake that the soul and the super soul, there is no such difference. Only the soul is the super soul or the super soul is the soul. Atma, Paramatma, they are both one, but they are not both one. They are two. That is stated in the Upanishad, that they are sitting in one tree like two birds, friendly birds. One is enjoying the fruit of the tree, other is only witnessing. So the witnessing bird is Paramatma and the fruit-eating bird is Atma. These are the Vedic statements. So, we have entered this material world for enjoyment and to give us facility for enjoyment, the plenary portion of Krishna, Paramatma, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, he is also within this body. This can be explained by one example. Just like when there is some fair in India, just like we had attended that Kumbh Mela fair. So, because the people would come and gather there, the government takes precaution or makes necessary arrangement. There is actually a small government, the commissioner, the magistrate, they go there and manage things, that things are going on nicely so that people may not be in inconvenience. Let them take bath peacefully. That is the idea. Similarly, the government is Krishna. And because we wanted to come here to enjoy, the Krishna has made so many nice arrangements. Sometimes they question why this material world is created. That is created for us, because Krishna knows that some of them, they want to enjoy this material world. To give them facility, everything is arranged there. This is a replica of the spiritual world, but it is temporary, exactly like the Kumbh Mela camp is temporary. Bhutta bhutta praliyate. A chance is given to the living entities to enjoy to their satisfaction, and the Vedic instruction is there so that they may follow and again come back home, back to God. This is the whole arrangement. So, Guneshu Gunavaniva. Now the super soul does not become affected by the material qualities. But the individual soul, they are affected by the material qualities. Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. But the super soul is above these gunas, always. Anta pravishta abhati vijnanena vijimbhita. He is always full conscious. When Krishna comes within this material world, he does not become affected by the qualities as we become. Therefore, those who are murhas, those who are fools, they consider that Krishna is also a human being like us. Avajananti maga murha manusim tanuvasita. But about Krishna it is said, Vijnanena Vijimbita. He is fully conscious. He knows. Vedahang samititani. I know everything, Krishna says, past, present, future. Just like Krishna said to Arjuna, Ahang vivasati yugam praktamani ham abba. Idam abba. Formerly I spoke to the sun god. So, because he does not forget past, present, future, Vijnanena Vijimbita. He is always conscious, fully conscious. Whatever was done in the past, what will happen in the future, and what is happening, everything is known to Krishna. Vijnanena Vijimbita. But we have lost our consciousness, we have lost our memory, that we are past and we are parts and parcels of Krishna, and we are identifying with this material world in different capacities. Somebody is identifying with this body, somebody is identifying with the society or community or nation or country. But Krishna does not become such materially affected. Vijnanena Vijimbita. He is always conscious. So the Paramatma, although the Paramatma is within this body, anta pravishta, abhati, without him, both the Paramatma and Jivatma are within this body, and the intelligence is coming from the Paramatma. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chahang ridhi sannivishta. Sarvasya chahang ridhi sannivishta. I have entered in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chahang ridhi sannivishta. Matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. Smriti jnana apohanancha. Remembrance, memory, knowledge, everything is coming from him. Mythic jnanam apohanancha, and forgetfulness is also from him. That's all. let them go. Jnana and apohanancha. Knowledge and forgetfulness, both are there. Both are coming from Krishna. Knowledge, suppose I wanted to enjoy something in my past life. So Krishna has given me a type of body so that I can enjoy. And he gives me reminder also. Now you wanted to enjoy like this, you have got this opportunity, you do it. This is the proof. You will find even what is called the calf born of an animal, the dog, cats and dogs, they find out where is the mother's breast. The human child also, they also try to find out where is the mother's breast, because they explain it as intuition, but we don't say it is intuition, or even if we call intuition, where from it is coming? It is coming from Paramatma. He is giving that you find out here, you will find your mother's breast and here is your food. Here is your food. Therefore, even just after birth, the kiddie or the small child finds out where is the food. This is the explanation of intuition. But the modern scientists, they say intuition, but they cannot explain how the intuition is coming. It is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. It is coming from Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of God. Anta pravishta abhati vijnanena vijambita. But Krishna, sarvasya chahang hridi sannivishta, as Paramatma, he has entered in everyone's heart. He is in his knowledge. He knows that this individual soul wanted to enjoy this material world, so he gives him facility, now you enjoy. Those who have no discrimination of eating, all abominable things one can eat, he is given the chance of eating everything up to stool in the form of a hog. The facility is given. One who is shameless. Now this civilization has spread in the Western countries. They want to remain naked. There are so many nudie clubs. So next life they will be given chance to become tree, to stand naked for thousands of years. This is laws of nature. They do not know how they are getting chance, different types of body for different types of enjoyments, material enjoyment. Sometimes he is put as a poor man, sometimes he is put as a rich man, sometimes as demigod, sometimes as cat, sometimes as dog. In this way it is going on. But there is no knowledge. The modern civilization, they do not take care of this Vedic information. Neither they have got any sufficient knowledge. How these 8,400,000 species of life are becoming possible? They have no science. But here it is stated, Anta pravishta abhati vijnanena vijimbita. So, our this Krishna consciousness movement is all pervasive. It is including science, philosophy, everything that we require, everything complete. By Krishna consciousness movement, everything becomes completely known. Prakasha. Prakasha. Because as soon as we become in touch with Krishna, the Krishna gives us all intelligence. Tesam satatujuktanang bhajatang priti purvakam. If we engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness, in devotional service, sincerely and seriously, then all intelligence will come from within. Because the Paramatma is there, Krishna is already there. Ishara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tisthati. So simply, just like the television, set is there already. You can get so many news from outside, but you have to know how to tackle it. As soon as you push some button, electronic button, immediately the picture and the speaking immediately become manifest. Similarly, Krishna is already there within your heart. You are also there. If we simply connect our link with Krishna, that is called yoga. Yoga means connecting the link. So there are different processes of yoga system. The best yoga system, as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita, always think of Krishna within your heart. Always think. Sabai mana Krishna padaravinda. This is the example given by Ambarish Maharaj. You haven't got to practice so many Ashtanga Yoga process. That is also one of the process. But if this process, always thinking of Krishna, satatang chintayantang mam, satatang chintayantang mam, satatang kirtayantang mam, these words are there. If we engage ourselves always chanting, hearing about Krishna, Sunnatang Sakatha Krishna Punnasavana Kirtana Riddantasta Vadrani Vidhunati Suhitsata. Then gradually the dirty things within our heart will be cleansed and there will be clear direction what to do in which circumstances and how to do it. Everything will come. Because Vijnanena Vijimbhita. Krishna is there. He is full of knowledge, scientific knowledge, Vijnanen. This very word is used. Vijnanena. Not only Gyan, but Vijnanen. Tactfully, everything perfectly will come. Simply, we have to link our lost relationship. We are always in Krishna touch, but at the present moment, due to the illusory energy of Maya, we have forgotten that we are always connected with Krishna. This has to be, this illusion, these dirty things has to be moved. Then our original relationship will be established and our life will be perfect. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.
So we just heard a beautiful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. And this class was given actually is in Vrindavan, and that's why we hear the background of the birds and the kirtan and the peacocks and so on and so forth, because it was given outside of the courtyard in Vrindavan. So and Prabhupada, whenever he gives such classes, it's so nice to hear these background sounds. It's like almost hearing from the heaven, from Goloka Vrindavan. It's beautiful. We'd like to ask devotees if you have any feedback, any clarification, any questions. And also, if you could share a takeaway from this amazing class by Srila Prabhupada, please do jump right in. You can either raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself and we will call upon you and you can share. One thing that I can start, and I'm just looking down to see that no one has raised their hand yet or posted something in the chat. But one thing that I really liked was a very nice reflection from me, I should say, was when Srila Prabhupada said in the early part of his lecture, where he said that without spiritual touch, I'm trying to look for that. Yes, in the first paragraph of his lecture, it was so nice that Srila Prabhupada said that without spiritual touch, there cannot be any creation. And I really like the word that Srila Prabhupada chose, spiritual touch, because this shows that it takes a supreme being, a supreme controller, who can create this material creation, the planets and the galaxies and the universes and all that. It takes someone beyond intelligence, which is Krishna. So I really like that very nice reflection. I felt that without spiritual touch, there cannot be any creation. So that was one thing that I really liked. That was a nice reflection for me from this lecture by Srila Prabhupada. I would like to give others, opportunity to share your reflection, a thought from Srila Prabhupada's lecture. And it's very important that we really try to take at least one point home with us from every lecture. Then it's just hearing, and it's just like, as they say, time pass. So we should definitely try to get one point in if we can share.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
You step on the basis, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, I also was very much appreciative of how Srila Prabhupada put this: without a spiritual touch or presence, the body cannot develop, and similarly, the gigantic universe cannot operate without the presence or the entry of the super soul. The universe can't operate. And then he gave a simple example. A child without a soul is born, the body is dead, and it cannot grow. The body will not grow. So that's the importance of the soul being in the body. And of course, the super soul follows everywhere we go in this material universe. Universes. So that was a very important point, that the body won't grow without a spiritual, which means it's a spiritual that makes the material operate. And that is true of the universes too. The Supreme Spirit entering the universes makes it possible for the universe to operate and every planet to operate in each universe. So that's one of my takeaways. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes. You have to mute, honey. Yeah, if there are other feedback from devotees, any thoughts, any reflection, please, you can unmute yourself or you can raise your hand. We'll call upon you. Another point that I really liked was when Srila Prabhupada, when he talked about, and this is one of my favorite pastimes or analogy, I have to say, where Srila Prabhupada talks about the two birds sitting on the tree. Ever since I've heard it, I've always liked that analogy, that pastime, where Srila Prabhupada says, one is the witnessing bird, which is the Paramatma, and the fruit-eating bird is the Atma. And that was, I really liked how he repeatedly brings up this analogy of how the super soul within us, the Paramatma, which is the witnessing bird, is watching what the soul is doing, which is the fruit-eating bird. And that was a very nice reminder that each one of us has a Paramatma within us, and the Paramatma is watching us, guiding us from, and comes with us. In fact, right in this lecture, Srila Prabhupada says, when the soul takes shelter within the matter, within the body of the mother, in the womb of the mother, both the soul and the super soul comes in, and he gave a very nice, explanation here, how it takes two to make it happen. The soul takes shelter, within the matter, within the womb of the mother, and the super soul simultaneously appears also. That was a very nice explanation by Srila Prabhupada that I really liked. How he said that every one of us has the witnessing bird within our hearts, and that is the Paramatma. And I really like that analogy. This is one of my favorite analogies by Srila Prabhupada that is so promising. So that was my takeaway from, that from this amazing lecture, a couple of points, but would like to hear from other devotees. You can either post it in the chat if you want, and I can read it out so that we all can benefit from each other's takeaway, or you please do feel free to unmute yourself and share your thoughts on it. Just going down the list so that I don't miss anyone here. And go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So there's another point that was to take away. The knowledge given by Paramatma versus science saying as intuition, the point to the Prabhupada made, that Krishna as Paramatma gives knowledge to the newborn to guide the baby to find the mother's breast. And that's even true for animals too. When they're born, the animal babies, newborn babies, also try to find where the mother's breast is, where the nipples are. Because Paramatma gives you knowledge that that's where you're going to find your food, your sustenance. Science does not know that it's by intuition. And Sri Prabhupada says, well, even if it's by intuition, how did intuition get there? It is given by Krishna.
Yeah.
So the knowledge is given to the baby from the Paramatma. The guidance is there. And so we see that really matter cannot operate without spirit. The spirit gives you whole guidance, although the living entity has the freedom or free choice to pick everything that they want to enjoy in this material world. After all, that's what they wanted to do coming to the material world. But still, the guidance is from Krishna as Paramatma. So basically, we are very dependent, totally dependent on the material energy, which is put together by Krishna, and the guidance in the material energy, which also, or permission to do things in the material energy. We are just given a chance to take whatever is in the material energy for enjoyment. Of course, those who are ignorant use it for sense gratification. And he even talked about some people now trying to be naked. There are nudist camps, and Krishna will just give you, all right, so you want to be that, then be a tree for, thousands of years, stand naked. Again, the material energy is there for people to enjoy as they like. But as soon as we connect with Krishna by the yoga process, which he explained towards the end, then we will get the opportunity to go back to Godhead and get away from all of this so-called enjoyment, which is actually trouble. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for bringing that up. That was actually, I'm so glad and happy that you brought up the point of intuition, because that was definitely another takeaway from me. My third takeaway was also myself, we use this word intuition so loosely, as a matter of fact, but actually it is the knowledge from the Paramatma. It's coming from the Paramatma. That was a very, very powerful takeaway from me too, from this lecture by Srila Prabhupada, that, we call it intuition, but where's it coming from? It's coming from the Super Soul, Paramatma. So everything comes from the Super Soul, knowledge, intelligence, direction, guidance, intuition. So that was a very nice takeaway. Thank you so much for sharing that. Any other takeaways from devotees before we end this class? Any other thoughts, any questions, any add-ons to this amazing class by Srila Prabhupada? Going down the list here to make sure that I don't miss anyone. And if there isn't, we thank you for joining us. Just a quick reminder that this evening we will have our Bhagavad Gita Circle reading program at 6:00. We just started, we are into chapter 7, the knowledge of the absolute truth. So please do join us in our reading and our discussion and sharing and understanding of the verses. Until then, Vanchakrapati Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a wonderful day, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What was the text again?